may have heard that week 17 is the only thing that matters in fantasy football. We are going to test and see if that's true today. Every single pick that we make in an 18-round best ball draft is going to be correlated in week 17, either teammate or opponent. First off, let's see if we're able to do it. And then second off, let's see if it's any good.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
All right, we are drafting this one out of the 12 hole, so it should be pretty easy. We have plenty of week 17 correlations. I have all of my mnemonics memorized. I've got the sidekick loaded up here, so it's going to tell me if I have week 17 correlation. We're picking out of the 12 slot. We are going to be making 18 selections in this draft. The last video we did, we drafted only by ceiling, only by the absolute best case scenario. That team ended up okay. Could have been better, could have been worse. If you missed it, go ahead and go back and watch it. But let's see if an entire week 17 correlation team is going to win me a fantasy football contest. Picking at the turn is a little bit annoying because I was hoping to be able to set up the old Dyson darts with Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers. You can't really get that one anymore. So maybe this will be the one pick that we have to fudge. So let's select... All right. We're not going to be able to get a Minnesota player. We're not going to be able to get a Colts. Well, actually, you know what? Here we go. Brian Thomas Jr., and we are going to be able to correlate it because I am going to follow the guidelines and I am going to select Jonathan Taylor. Now, obviously, for the entire course of this draft, I don't think that you should do some things like that. Like you can take one pick and then add in another player later. I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway. But by the end, all 18 picks are going to correlate with one another in week 17. I could have done Amon-Ra St. Brown, taken Jordan Addison later, but I think to be, in the true spirit, if we were not able to get the Raiders-Giants correlation right off the jump, I think to be in the true spirit, that is a good way to start what we're doing. But this 3-4 turn, there isn't really an obvious week 17 spot, two guys who were set up to play each other. Maybe, we could have done Tet and JSN. If Tet did not go early, we could set up the Jaden Daniels, Dallas Cowboys stuff. I like some of the Cowboys who go later. I think I probably am going to go in that direction. I also do really like the Chicago-San Francisco game. That's another one of my week 17 favorites. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take Jaden Daniels and set up a Cowboy a little bit later. And now I think let's do DJ Moore and hope that we were able to get Juwan Jennings a little bit later. So there we go. There's one turn with no obvious week 17 correlation, but thinking about, and I think this is just in general a good strategy as you are in these rooms on Underdog, Code Davis, if you're not signed up yet, is just to think through at the next possible turns, or if you're picking in the middle, if you're picking at 43 and then 54, who correlates with this guy at the next selection. We are begging to not get sniped on Juwan Jennings here, and I think there is a good chance that he will come back to us. That will be our obvious week 17 correlation, and then we'll need to think through, what other week 17 game do we want to add here? Do we want to add in potentially RJ Harvey and then give ourselves, Travis Kelce, Hollywood Brown? Wow, Jennings goes. That is, I'm not going to lie, guys, that is pretty painful. So I think, actually, you know what? I'm going to do Chris Olave and set up a Ward backstack there. It gives us Tajay Spears as well. Again, no other obvious week 17 correlation for us to add. So we are going to add in RJ Harvey. That gives us multiple Chiefs to set up with a little bit later. So we have Jaden Daniels. We have Cowboys bring back. We have correlated Jonathan Taylor and Brian Thomas. The Juwan Jennings snipe. You never know where your life is going to lead when a Juwan Jennings snipe doing a recorded best ball fantasy football draft is going to ruin your day. But boys, that is where we are at right now. All right, we're sitting here at the 7-8 turn, and it's about to happen to us again. Guys, it's going to happen to us again. Josh Downs just went at pick 82. He was an obvious week 17 correlation. We do have Michael Pittman Jr. as a backup. We should be able to get one of these week 17 correlated running backs, whether it be Pacheco or Pollard. We're not able to get Pacheco. So you know what? I said that I was just going to do all week 17 correlation. So there we have Michael Pittman Jr. Now we're going to select Tony Pollard, and we are beginning to close those loops. We still need a Dallas Cowboy. We still need a San Francisco 49er, likely going to be Guerrero, potentially Jordan James. We have Olave and Pollard correlated, and we are going to have to add a Kansas City Chief. That could be Brashard Smith. That could be Hollywood Brown. It could be Jalen Royals, but I am going to accomplish this one. We are going to have the perfectly stacked pieces of a Week 17 fantasy football masterpiece on a team that, by the way, right now looks pretty good. Absolutely smoked by getting sniped on Travis Kelce here. There's also not an obvious 49er for us to select here. We're getting Byshell Tootin as a Week 17 guy. We are getting Rashid Shaheed as a Week 17 guy. We are getting Tyler Warren as a Week 17 guy. But the most important one for us to close a loop on is actually Hollywood Brown. So I'm going to select him first. We still need a Cowboy. We could probably wait there. We have a Jaguar. We have a Chief. We have Saints. You know what? Let's do Rashid Shaheed. Let's just stack that game up a little bit more. Olave and Shaheed. Then we can go all the way down to Tyler Shuck. We can save. We could even add Juwan Johnson on this team. So halfway through the draft, we have Jaden Daniels with no Cowboy. We have Jonathan Taylor with Brian Thomas Jr. We have RJ Harvey with Hollywood Brown. We have Tony Pollard with our two Saints, Brian Thomas Jr., DJ Moore, no 49er yet, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman Jr. with Brian Thomas Jr., Hollywood Brown with RJ Harvey, and Rashid Shaheed. So we're definitely going to be looking at Jaden Blue. We're definitely going to be looking at Miles Sanders. We're definitely going to be looking at Jake Ferguson. This is a little bit harder, honestly, than I thought it was going to be. It's also a little bit harder when you don't exactly get the guy you need. Not getting Juwan Jennings is haunting me right now as we are in the 10th round. All right, I am about to do a couple ADP reaches here. I think in a way that might make some of the folks at home angry, but I think I can close my stacks later. I mean, one obviously being with Tyler Shuck, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to get Guerrero in blue if I don't take them here because I'm sitting there at the turn. Picking at 132, so I'm going to take Guerrero to correlate with DJ Moore. And then I'm going to take Jaden Blue to correlate with Jaden Daniels. A little bit of Jaden synergy there. Now the entire loop is closed. Everyone has a correlated piece on the entire team, so I don't have to sweat that. I do still need probably 3 tight ends on this team. I'm comfortable with just Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson or Tyler Shuck. This might even be a 3-6-6-3. We'll see if the sidekick gives me any other big opinions there, but I can say through 12 rounds, all 12 of our players are correlated for a Week 17 game. So, mission accomplished, or maybe mission failed successfully. We'll see. All right, basically nothing but Week 17s sitting here for us. We can do Brenton Strange correlated with our Colts pieces. Obviously, we can take Zach Ertz. I would have liked to probably have got the double bring back with Ferguson. The room didn't give us that one. I'm a little bit curious. I'm actually going to let the clock go all the way down on this next pick because I am just, not that I'm going to necessarily do what the sidekick says, but I'm going to take Zach Ertz here correlated with Jaden Daniels. And I wonder if the sidekick is again going to want me to take a quarterback. Oh, interesting. Cam Ward, Brenton Strange. Is there any other Week 17 guy? Pat Bryant. You know what? Let's do Cam Ward. Cam Ward is fun. I'm a little bit lighter than I would like there. We can add, Chikankwo, Alec Iomanner, Chimere Dike, Tyler Lockett. We can add Tyler Shuck again if we want. I am thinking 3-6-6-3 for this one with Daniels stacked, Ward stacked with just Pollard, Jonathan Taylor, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, Isaac Guerrero, Jaden Blue, Brian Thomas, DJ Moore, Chris Olave, Michael Pittman Jr., Hollywood Brown, Rashid Shaheed. Probably need one more wide receiver because that's a lot of Week 11 buys and Zach Ertz. We'll see. I might play fast and loose with this Week 17 one. So positionally, I am a little bit lost here. I mean, I definitely want one more tight end. There's not really a commander I love here. I mean, we could take Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We could actually, you know what? Just as a little treat, I might give myself a little bit of a Brashard Smith on this team. Certainly, I mean, what would you guys do? Would you take Chig here? Would you wait to take Juwan Johnson? The thing is I want to give myself the optionality on if I want a third tight end or a third quarterback. A lot of different ways we could go. We could just take Juwan Johnson now. We could take another Titan. You know what though? I am going to give myself a treat. Why not? Why shouldn't I have a treat? Brashard Smith, 16th round. Again, some of you guys, Davis, why are you taking him in the you 16th round? You could have taken him. You could have waited. You could have got him with your very last pick. Boys, if you take nothing away from the Davis Mattek Fantasy Football channel this offseason, your 15th round pick and your 18th round pick, they're all the same. It doesn't matter. As we're sitting here, one of the other things I could do is I could do a totally weird add in another game. I could take Isaac Tesla, and like Ty Felton or Jalen Naylor or something. I mean, I definitely think I think I've decided I do want a third tight end. The issue is there's not really a correlated one because Juwan Johnson went. So if I did, I would have to take like Theo Johnson and Dante Thornton. Thornton's even gone. I could take Shuck or Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. Maybe I'll do that. I could take Tyler Lockett, could take Chimere DK. I'm a little tilted at myself for not planning this one a little bit better. Jaden Daniels, I definitely don't need one. Man, Davis, you left yourself here. You left yourself here without a rope, brother. And you really didn't think. So let's take Lockett first. And then let's think of all these correlated pieces. Does any of these make any sense? Honestly, not really. So let's just take Shuck. I took the two Saints wide receivers. That was a good bit of waffling there. You got to see my brain in real time, not know, just immediately decide the other thing. We don't need a third quarterback. Actually, let's take a third quarterback. So your entire Week 17 correlated team, you have Jaden Daniels with Zach Ertz and Jaden Blue as a bringback. You have Cam Ward stacked with three of his teammates, with Tyler Shuck on the other side, with Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed on the other side. Jonathan Taylor with Brian Thomas Jr., RJ Harvey with Brashard Smith and Hollywood Brown, Tony Pollard in that New Orleans, Tennessee game stack, Isaac Urendo and DJ Moore, Jaden Blue, Brashard Smith, BTJ, DJ Moore with Urendo, Olave in that game stack, Pittman with BTJ and his teammate Jonathan Taylor, Hollywood, Rashid Shaheed, Tyler Lockett, Zach Ertz, and Chigakonkwo. So in other words, folks, if the game you absolutely need to have in Week 17 is the New Orleans Saints, Tennessee Titans, then things are going to be looking good for me. Make sure that you like the video, comment down below if you would have done anything different, and subscribe to the channel for daily fantasy football videos. Thank you very much for watching.